Hey everyone, this is Eric, and I'm here with Adam and Brittany from the Moran Square Diner in Fitchburg. So, welcome to both of you. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so I mean, an awesome story here. You both, chef co-owners, husband and wife team, an amazing duo there. But you've taken over an existing location, which is never easy. I'd love to learn more about the diner, potentially what it was, and what your plans are for the future in terms of what it will be.
Yeah, so the diner came to be in about 1940 in a space where there used to be a lunch wagon. It was a way to sort of increase business for the previous owners. And it's sort of stood there. It's been open since the 40s till it closed in 2018. It had, I believe, 4 different owners, most recently the Giannetti family. And so that's sort of the history of it. And then we kind of got the idea to start taking it over back in March. And we've been working on it ever since then.
So working on it, let's talk about that. I mean, you've got you're changing the interior, you're changing the menu. Like what? Let's hear about like what's going on there, because also you have an exciting Kickstarter, which we'll get to in a minute to learn more about that too.
So we're not really changing the interior. We're pretty much trying to keep everything. It's a historical building, so it's going to look the same. We're just kind of going to update, like try to get it a little bit cleaner, and then update anything that we need to get it to code.
Cool.
But as you might know, closed restaurants get dirty fast. So we've been, steaming the floors and doing little projects here and there when we have the time, and along with meeting with different people, nonprofits, groups that want to help us out. It's been very busy in that sense.
Right, and the food. Let's hear about that, because when you and I spoke earlier, Adam, like that, I was already excited about that, because you actually you both have cooking backgrounds. It's not like you just randomly decided to do this.
Yes. Myself personally, I've most recently been the sous chef at Woods Hill Table in West Concord, Mass, which is a farm-to-table fine dining establishment.
And I worked there as garde, and then I actually worked on a farm last summer.
That's awesome. And so what will that add to the food experience? Like what sort of, how do you envision the plates? Or are you still talking about standard, say, breakfast items and food items, or is it something else?
So for us, we almost have too many ideas. It's paring down what's going to work, what's going to be seasonal, how are we going to tell, I don't always like to say story, but how can we tell stories with the food that are going to promote the farmers? We want a menu that isn't about us, where we can take the techniques of French, Italian, world cooking that we've picked up over the past 10 to 14 years and apply it to diner food that people eat every day. Fine dining is great, but no one goes out to eat every day. And we want to make good food accessible and educate people on the importance of how nutrient-dense food is going to be more delicious, and the food that's better for you is actually going to taste better as well, and make it better.
So when you think about the menu, do you have like a top 3, menu items that you're like super excited to put in front of the public and get their feedback from?
Yeah, I'd say for me, it's usually any kind of a pasta dish. That's really nice for lunch or a dinner service. A really solid burger, and eggs Benedict, because everyone loves eggs Benedict, and I pride myself on my hollandaise.
That's awesome.
I'd say 2 eggs Benedict, definitely chicken and waffles. I don't think you can really find that at a lot of places around here. It's one of our favorites. And it's just really solid, alternative food items for dietary restrictive people.
Oh, that's awesome. So that's actually, I would say is not a common thing. It's harder to find, chefs or restaurants that are willing to accommodate different dietary restrictions. Is there anything in particular? Are we talking like gluten-free, dairy-free, plant-based, or sort of all of it?
Yeah, we're kind of trying to encompass everything. Really, we want everyone to be able to come to the diner. We don't want it to be only for a specific group of people, which I feel like maybe it might have been in the past a little bit. I don't remember there being as many dietary restrictive items. And even in Fitchburg, there aren't that many places that I know of. For me, myself, I have a wheat intolerance, so finding pancakes that I can eat and really enjoy that are really tasty too. It's kind of a little bit difficult. We want everyone to be able to feel like there's something for them on the menu. And it's also just as delicious as the items that people who don't have these intolerances would be able to eat.
Yeah, it shouldn't feel like a compromise that you're ordering the buckwheat pancakes because, oh, I can't have gluten. You want the buckwheat, the ginger, all the flavors, and everything should be just as appealing rather than, well, we're putting this here to appease someone.
And so the diner actually has personal significance, if I remember right, to the both of you, right? It's not just a random place you happened upon. You've actually been there before.
Yeah, I grew up pretty much 150 feet down the street. My parents worked a lot, so I spent many days at my grandparents' house in summers, and so that was my neighborhood growing up. I didn't eat there very much personally, but that's more of Brittany's connection to the diner.
Yeah, so I grew up actually going there. My grandparents were best friends with the old owner's grandparents, and we knew their family. We knew them by name. They'd always ask me about my family when we came in. It was kind of a tradition, like every Sunday our family would go. And then when me and Adam met later, we would go down there, like it would be our Sunday date. We'd be like, let's go to the diner, we can just walk there. And we'd have a little ritual of going every Sunday, which was really nice.
That's cool. I like it. So you have a personal connection and you're keeping it alive in the community. So to that end, to get it off the ground and to keep things moving forward and having your vision actually come out on the plate, you have a Kickstarter, right? So let's hear about that.
Yeah, so we're trying to raise around $20,000 to help purchase equipment. We're going to be getting rid of the gas lines and going all induction. They'll help save energy costs. It'll be better for the planet. We're also trying to reinstall new hood systems. There's currently no fire suppressions. We need to install like an Ansel system, which is going to be a pretty large cost. And then there are other things that'll be needed to be updated: gaskets, new refrigeration, sinks, and whatnot. So that's the costs add up pretty quickly.
So definitely a big project, and I'm putting a link to the Kickstarter so everyone can see. Click on it and support. And you have some cool things that you get as a result of participating and being part of the restaurant, right? You want to talk about it?
Yeah, for sure. You want me to do that?
Sure.
All right. So for about $1 to $5, we'll give you a shout out on our social media. $5, we have VIP shout outs, so we'll do a video and say your name and thank you profusely. We're also going to be having some postcards made with some art from the diner by local artists. So it'll be probably a variety of different mediums. We're also offering enamel pins, which will be our logo of the diner, about 1 inch in size. Those are pretty neat. That's for a $25 donation. We're offering mugs and hats for $50 and $100. And then for those who give $250, we're going to do a brunch for two, full service, everything you could want. And then we have some higher options if anyone's really willing to shell out $500, $1,000. We'll name a booth or a stool after you. And finally, for the big spenders, if anyone wants to give us $5,000, we'll do a private dinner for 10 people with a 10-course tasting menu to show off our fine dining skills.
That's amazing. And so timing wise, what are we thinking in terms of when people can start experiencing your food and what it's like to go to the diner?
Well, currently we're hoping for an opening in November, but as you know, things don't always go the way we want to with renovations, contractors, any number of elements that can go into it. We might have some things in the future where we're going to do some pop-ups, and we'll be announcing those pretty soon, but we're getting all our ducks in a row. So I don't want to name anything specifically, but we'll have a chance to taste our food before we open.
That's awesome. And so for those of you that don't know the diner or don't know where it's located, if they want to at least drive by and get a sense, so do you know the address? So how can they find you later?
Yep, so it's 6 Myrtle Drive in Fitchburg, and it's pretty much almost right across the street from the train station, or the commuter rail. It's like, what's the word?
Avenue, 6 Myrtle Avenue.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, that's great. So that's an excellent treat for commuters, especially when things start picking up again.
In
So
the courtyard, you can't miss it.
it's amazing. Well, I appreciate your time and telling us a little bit about the story, what's coming, and I'm excited to be able to experience your food when you're open. So thank you.
No,
Thank
we're excited
you.
to cook for you.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Well, that's what we got. So again, thanks to Adam and Brittany, and we'll catch you